All right, I had to shut the camera off after the two magazines there had a little something happen. Either way, your boy Genius out at the range again with the Smith & Wesson Shield X. Okay, already have a video up, initial thoughts, 100 rounds through the gun. Miss Amanda shot the gun. Actually, a little more than that because, of course, I had to zero the optic. But either way, that's up. I invite you to go over and check that out. I talked about some of the things I did not like. I promised I would get back out and continue to run the gun. So that's what I'm doing today. It's quite messy down here. We've had 12 straight days of rain. Probably going to rain again today. But either way, wanted to get some rounds through this thing before I went out of town for a week or so. And that was two magazines, again, without incident. I will say one other thing that I did not mention during the first video. Now, there will be those that refer to this as the slide lock, not the slide release. And there are those who would say you should not use that to drop around in the chamber. It's not a slide release, it's a slide lock, okay? But I will say this, with a magazine inserted with rounds in the magazine, it is nearly impossible, if not impossible, to manipulate that slide lock, slide release to drop a round in the chamber. Just nearly impossible. I haven't been able to do it. I can do it if I really give it something, as you just saw me do it, but I'm trying right there, and it's just impossible to do. Okay, not a big deal, just pointing it out as a matter of fact. Okay, not a big deal. So now, only thing I'm really going to do, I gave you my initial thoughts. I went through the pertinent information of the gun. It is a Shield with basically a different trigger and a different lower and an added light rail to slot. Okay, that's basically what we're dealing with here. Check that video out. All I'm doing now is just running rounds through it like I do every other gun that I review. Have not oiled, have not cleaned the gun, just like every other gun that I review. Okay, that right there was 28 rounds, I believe, if that math is correct. Okay, and I'm going to try and get it out to 250 rounds today. And then after I do that, I will do another video putting some jacketed hollow point through it, some steel, just like I do on the other ones, the same Magtech steel that I do on the other ones. Maybe even put some plus P through it. I don't know, just different ammunition, if you will, getting it out to maybe, I don't know, 400 rounds. I think now, with my experience with Smith & Wesson, especially the Shield platform, if I was going to have a QC problem, a failure of some sort, it always happened within the first 300 rounds or less, usually a lot less. But I went back and looked at some of the paperwork, and some of them made it out to around 300 rounds before an issue reared its ugly head. So I think I'm gonna put 500 rounds through this, again, trying to be frugal with ammunition. I think if something were amiss with it, that it would show up within that 500 rounds. And someone asked, again, I try to put up a video, let it percolate for a few days, hear the comments and what people ask. And someone asked if the little peephole LCI, whatever you want to call it, at the back of the barrel caused any dirtiness on the optic. And I can say I have not cleaned this optic after having put what now would be 128 rounds through it, and I don't notice anything. There's nothing on the optic, so it seems to be a non-issue. So before I get started, just simply laying this over with me getting it out close to 250 rounds. As always, want to invite you to know Jesus Christ as your Savior, the most important decision you'll ever make in your life. If you don't know, take care of that today. Today is the day of salvation. Reach out to me in the comment section or at gsquaredtactical@gmail.com. And I also have a video up. I'll be glad to link that video to you, sharing the gospel in great detail and how you can know for sure. Go over, consider supporting us on Patreon, $5, $10, $20, $30, $40 a month, whatever you want to do. I upload everything over there. Everything would go back into the channel, and it would be a great benefit to the channel. And also, you can go to our website, click on the link in the corner of the screen here, take you right over to the website. Once you get there, you can click on the three lines in the corner, support the channel. You can donate directly through there, and we do get the majority of that money. So we do try to encourage people to go over there. It is a one-time donation, it's not reoccurring. And like I said, everything is covered and appreciated, and we appreciate everyone that currently supports us. So I'm just going to start shooting this gun as I normally do. I wish I had a couple more magazines, make it go a little faster, try to get it out close to 250 rounds. If there's a failure of some sort, we'll stop the camera. And then the next video we do, we'll try to run some different types of ammunition through the gun. And so let's get right to it. All right, everybody, that's 5 rounds away from 150 today, which would be 250 rounds total. Have not had a incident. You saw at the beginning of that last shooting there that a new phenomenon is taking place. I mentioned not being able to drop the slide on a magazine with ammunition in there by manipulating the slide release slide lock with my thumb. But I noticed a couple of times when I loaded it up and I hit the magazine, it did drive it home, which I don't technically have an issue with. I don't, as long as it's something that is consistent, but it hasn't been consistent. So I don't know, maybe it will become more consistent. Again, it's not something that I have an issue with at all. Again, just mentioning something that I noticed. I didn't do it on purpose. I simply just hit the magazine into place and it drove home. It surprised me as much as it might have surprised you, but that did happen. I tried it the next time, it didn't happen. I tried it the next time, it didn't happen, and then it happened again. And then, of course, I just now done it and it happened again. So if it was something that was consistent, it wouldn't be an issue for me. So I do, as I begin to shoot this and I begin to notice things, whether it's a continuation of something I mentioned in the former videos or if it is something new, I do want to mention it. Anyone ask any questions in the comment section. As you saw, when I was alternating between the targets, I was not able to do so as effectively, as fast and efficiently as I do with some other guns like the FN Reflex XL or CZ P10C or basically any CZ that I've shot. I just wasn't able to stay on target as fast. As of this moment, I can't say why, because most of those, the most frequently used red dot I have is the Vortex Defender CCW, because again, it is very, very inexpensive, and it's the optic of choice for me in most cases. So, and it's what's on most of the other guns that I have done testing on. So I think I don't believe it's the optic at all. I can't really put my finger on why I can't shoot as quickly with it, but that has been so far the case through now what will be 250 rounds. I'm just not as fast and effective with it, although it is, you know, if I really slow down and really focus, I did get a nice group on there. It was relatively accurate, okay? And I believe with continued training, it would be very accurate. The most important thing to me is with all the QC issues I've had with Smith, that it just simply goes boom and doesn't have any major malfunctions or breakages, which it has not so far, okay? So far so good, still feels amazing in the hand. Someone in the comment section asked about this gap up in the front between the frame and the slide. Why was it so large? I have no idea. You can see the yellow coated spring inside of there. It is a pretty decent gap, but I have that same kind of gap, although it seems to be more consistent from front to back. I have that same kind of gap on my P10C, so again, it's not really something that concerns me too much. I don't know why it's there. I don't know why it's that way. I don't know if others are that way. If yours is not, let me know. If it is, let me know. Again, doesn't seem to be an issue. And I don't know what it is these days. Now, I don't recall. I've been handling guns for a really long time, and I don't recall having so many guns. Now, SIG, yes, always. SIG, as long as I can remember, has always thrown spent casings back in my face. You know, I always refer to the optic as a deflector, okay? This one seems to be bypassing the optic altogether in a lot of cases and throwing it not into my cranium, but literally over here on top of the bed cover, onto the tailgate here. It does seem to be lobbing them back at me, okay? I don't know if that was the case with other Shield options in the past. I don't remember, but I don't know what it is about guns. It doesn't seem to just be this one. I've had quite a few guns that I've reviewed where that is the case. It throws them back at me into my face or up over my head, which can be very distracting and irritating, especially when you're trying to take some precision shots. So we got that's going on. The optic is still not dirty, so the peephole or loaded chamber indicator there, whatever that is, whatever purpose that is there for, it does not seem to be an issue. I'm not as fast with it. The magazine, as you can see in the front of this video, I believe it was, still's not dropping loose when it's empty. Even with the slide back, it just will not drop loose. And you could also see at the beginning of this video what I was talking about when I said that it kind of catches a little bit before it actually slams home. It is still doing that, and the 15-round magazine is still a beast to get the very last round in. I can't say for sure that it's getting any better, but whatever, I am able to get it in there. The 13-round loads up without incident. So I'm going to put these 5 rounds through it. If it goes off without a hitch, counting what I put through it, zeroing the optic, it's had 250, probably more like, you know, 260 maybe 263 or something through the gun without incident. And with the QC issues I've had with Smith in the past, especially the Shield, that's all I can really ask for. And I do ride that. See, it just doesn't drop free. And I do ride that slide lock on this quite a bit. I said because it very tactically sticks off the frame. That's on me. It's nothing to do with the gun. Just an adjustment that I would have to make. Not a problem. Don't have a beef with it whatsoever. I do the same thing on the bodyguard. So not even really worth mentioning. So somebody asked about the recoil, said that it looks snappy, okay, in comparison to other shields. It's been a little while since the last Shield that I reviewed was the carry comp, and just going to leave my opinions to myself about that thing. But it was a whole different beast. So honestly, it's been quite some time since I've shot a standard Shield platform, so I can't say for sure, and I don't have them because I've sold them all. They had warranty issues. I got tired of them, sold them, didn't like them. You know the story. But I don't recall, honestly. Recoil response in comparison to P10C, A lot more felt recoil for sure, a lot more muzzle rise in the P10C, not the ported, but just the standard P10C. Definitely still prefer that one as of now over this one. But again, for me, with the issues I've had with the Shield platform or just Smith in general in the past, I'm just happy that it has ran 250 rounds without incident. And for me, I'm just happy with that, okay? Thanks so much for watching. Again, make sure you know Jesus Christ is your Savior. If you have any questions, reach out to me in the comments section. I will get back to you. As always, to God only be the glory.